Tesla has been slashing prices on FSD. Yes, it's bargain basement fire sale. Everything must go. Get you FSD, get it while it's hot. And now the purchase price has also been reduced to reflect the discounts that we saw on the regular old subscription price. What's it mean? Let's find out. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So guys, there are a few ways you can help out, by the way, if you want to. You can use my referral code for just another few days, 9 days maybe. They're discontinuing the program at the end of the month. They say there's something better coming in the future. A few months later, we'll see how that goes. Any order placed before the end of the month still qualifies, so if you're going to get one anyway, would love it if you use my code. Don't have to, of course. Or you can support me on Patreon or YouTube or X as a patron, member, or subscriber. You know the deal. Love it. Love you guys. Okay. So did you know, Tesla slashes EV price in latest strategy shift as earnings loom. I don't know that the earnings looming has anything to do with it. This won't change the revenue in the past. That was in Q1. Okay, so yeah, they cut the price. So now the price just keeps going down. Cut price on the car themselves and on the FSD. Yeah, there was $1,000 price increase and no more discounts on inventory cars, and they dropped the price $2,000 on many models. You can now get a Model Y from $42,990, 43 grand before incentives. So like 35 grand if you qualify for the federal rebate, which most people do, and you may have state incentives on top of it that bring it down under $30,000. What is going on? If you're buying something else, you're mental. You're losing it. So yeah, Model S starts at $72,990. Model X under $80. Oh, is that going to qualify for incentives now? But the FSD price was slashed to $8,000. This is back to the price we saw 3 years ago. This is interesting. It was at 15, it was at 12, and now it's at 8. Is this doom? Is this gloom? Is this the end of the world? Is FSD dead? Well, if you've tried version 12, you know it is not dead. It is better than ever, and we've got a new strategy. So let's talk about that. We're going to mention real quick, prices have been cut in China as well. Not a small amount. $1,972 is a big price cut. So by the way, have you heard, well, how could FSD be here? Regulators say Tesla hasn't even asked for Robotaxi approval. Why would they? It's not done. There are 7 states in which Robotaxi is already kind of approved. You might have a hoop or two to jump through, but they're pretty easy to do. I'm sure some states will push back and say, no Robotaxi for this state. Well, great. People might have to leave. Tesla's not applied for a deployment permit with the DMV, said the department in response to complaints. Questions, I guess. They're complaints. That's okay. That doesn't matter. I've also read that since then, worth mentioning, Tesla doesn't really need to get the approval. Implied approval. Regulatory bodies didn't reprimand Tesla in the past, which Tesla says it's an implied green light. Getting the driver out completely might be a different matter. We shall see how that goes, if it goes at all. FSD keeps slamming into curbs. Let's make sure. FSD keeps slamming into curbs. So there's a little bit of work to be done. It's gotten better on 12.3.4, and it will get better still. I don't like the way it hugs the curb quite so aggressively. There are still some major obstacles. Sign recognition, things like no right turn on red. There's some other signs that I've seen it's had struggles with. Someone sent me one the other day, trying to remember what it was. But it needs to be able to understand, oh, maybe it was a do not enter sign. I don't recall. There are sign reading issues that need to be addressed. School zones need to be addressed. But the rate of improvement is quite substantial. Dare I say ridiculous. Tesla's investment in autonomous driving program to exceed $10 billion this year. This is from like a week ago, week and a half. It takes some serious investment to do it. It's been staggeringly difficult to make generalized self-driving work, requiring all that you describe above and more, the investment in training compute, gigantic data pipelines, and vast video storage will be well over 10 billion to date this year. So not 10 billion this year, but the compute alone is 10 billion. Well, could Waymo jump in on this? Could they? I mean, Waymo's got cash. They could just throw the money out. Apple's got the cash. They were looking at an all driverless system and they bailed on it because they know they can't solve it. So what makes you think that is compute alone enough? It is a necessary, but not a sufficient condition to solve autonomy. So here's the miles. Tesla's already hit 1 billion miles driven. And that's a big milestone. This is what the number of miles driven chart looked like. We need to go logarithmic for this to make sense anymore because it's accelerating now at this pace. And this is just at the beginning of April. Why has it stepped up so much? Because everyone got an opportunity to use it. And it still isn't everyone. There are people on the 2024.8 branch who haven't gotten the opportunity to begin their free 30-day trial. This is exciting, though. It means they have the data. So we had the compute, we have the data. Those are the two. That's the recipe. Now we got to cook it. We got to start cooking. Can Waymo catch up? I asked a minute ago. They've got the money. They can purchase the compute. They don't have the data. Waymo has 7 million driverless miles. How does it compare to humans? To humans, it doesn't, and it shouldn't. That's the wrong comparison, my friend. And they still crash sometimes. A no crash requirement would be impossible because there are crashes that cannot be avoided. I have been stationary when other cars hit me. Stationary at a stoplight, boxed in by other cars when the car in front of me rolled back down the hill because they couldn't operate a stick shift on the steep Seattle hills downtown. Funny story, police officer was standing there, watched it, did nothing. Very fun. The 90s. They took off, never saw him again. Waymo analyzed 7 million fully driverless miles in 3 cities, Phoenix, LA, and San Francisco. 7 million. Let's go back to that chart. Billion. Now, Waymo may already be at 10 million, but getting from 10 million to 1,000x those miles to catch up to where Tesla was some time ago, while Tesla's got millions of cars on the road running this software. It's not possible. You cannot purchase this data at any price. They don't need the approval. So yeah, there we go. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to make it make sense? So let's talk about what the $8,000 price means. Let's get into the actual analysis here. Does this mean you should not buy it because it's going to go down in price for more, forever? It's just going to keep going down until it's free? Probably not. That doesn't seem like a likely conclusion. Well, Autopilot was cut in half, or FSD was cut in half to 100 versus 199. That's a better deal. If you think the 99 is the forever price, maybe it is. If you think it might go lower, maybe it will. It could also go up. If this is solved in the next year or two, that price is going up because the utility is going up. If you really can just send your car to run errands or make money or deliver pizzas while you're asleep without having to worry about it. Tesla covers the insurance, covers the liability. You just get a cut. This car's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot more than $100 a month. And if you don't want to pay that, that's fine. You might sell your car to someone who wants to buy it because they can employ it. Might be 200, might be 500. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That $8,000 price is, should you buy it now or should you wait for it to go down? That's up to you. Once it's solved, the price will go up. It will not remain 8,000. It can't. It doesn't need to. Not until there's 3, 4, 5 competitors and it becomes a commodity that people are going to compete on. So that's the only thing that could drive the price down from there. Could it be 12,000 again? 15, 50,000? Absolutely. I'm not saying it will, but that is a financial possibility. The math would still make sense for a one-time purchase. So how much confidence do you have? Elon is famously the boy who cried FSD. He's cried a lot of things, some of them more objectionable to some people than others. But we're talking about FSD, and his claims have been consistent. It's his timeline that keeps shifting, because this is a problem harder to solve than anyone realized in advance. So what did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it into them comments below, and stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots. I don't know, in your own car. By the way, if you're in Portland today, today, Sunday, I'm going to be at the McAdams Service Center from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Tesla Owners Club event. It is open to the public. Come out and say hello. See you there.